Blake Lively versus plaintiff, which is Wayfarer Studios, and then we have Wayfarer Studios, plaintiff versus Blake Lively. Justin Baldoni's side argued that they think that she shouldn't receive any preferential treatment because she's famous.
Listen up. Blake Lively finally got a break with a major court win against Baldoni that surely left him in tears. But things are not so simple, as this scandal keeps on getting juicier. And I'm only still talking about the legal side of things. In a ruling that's hotter than a summer day in Malibu, U.S. District Court Judge Louis J. Liman gave the green light to Blake's request for some seriously tight-lipped confidentiality rules in her AB lawsuit against Baldoni. The judge basically said, y'all can talk about this in court, but if it's juicy, keep it to yourselves. It's like the legal equivalent of no spoilers allowed, but for court docs. And we all know how seriously Hollywood takes keeping secrets. Looking at you, Marvel. This order means that the court materials in the case can now be labeled as confidential or attorney's eyes only if they have the potential to cause major drama and possibly ruin someone's perfectly curated Instagram feed. If anyone dares to leak this stuff, they're facing contempt of court charges, which is basically the legal equivalent of a one-way ticket to a state similar to what Blake's in currently. Bryan Freedman, Baldoni's lawyer, who's clearly keeping busy, said Baldoni and his team totally agreed with this confidentiality rule. He even went as far as to praise the decision for protecting private mental health records and personal security measures. You know, all the super private stuff no one really cares about unless you're literally trying to destroy someone's life with it. He also threw some shade at Blake's overbroad request for documents from the past 2.5 years. Apparently she wanted to see everything, like some kind of secret agent, and even the judge was like, whoa there, let's dial it back a little. But wait, plot twist, Freedman didn't stop there. He threw in a mic drop moment claiming that Blake's attacks were completely unfounded and that his client would be using the court documents to prove her accusations wrong. Sounds like they're really prepping for an epic courtroom battle, and this is only the beginning. Baldoni's legal team has been doing everything short of launching flying drones to share info with the public. Seriously, they released unseen texts between him and the couple and even dropped a 10-minute behind-the-scenes clip of Blake and Baldoni slow dancing. Like, we're talking a proper director's cut of this entire mess. And here's where it gets really messy. Lively's team says they've been bombarded with violent, profane, sexist, and threatening communications since the lawsuit hit the fan. So Lively and Ryan sent a letter to Judge Liman asking for an appropriate protective order, claiming that Baldoni's team was on a targeted media campaign. She made it seem as serious as if they were in the middle of launching a reality show about the whole case. You gotta love the almost daily media statements and releases to the press. And Blake's probably thinking to herself if someone could please get Baldoni a PR manager who isn't playing the role of the grand exposer. But she has been exposed all right. Of course, Baldoni's team shot back, saying they weren't violating any rules by sending out press releases, because nothing screams we're playing fair like publicly roasting your opponent every chance you get, but again, that's a two-way street.
Keep it from the public, and they say, no, you'll leak it. So here's what the judge has to say. Judge Liman, United States District Judge, the Federal Rule of Civil Procedure 26C, to protect the confidentiality of certain non-public and confidential material to the limited information or items that are entitled under the applicable legal principles to confidential treatment. This court finds good cause for issuance of an appropriately tailored confidentiality order. Again, it's going to be limited to what they think certain mental health issues.
It's like this lawsuit is the gift that keeps on giving. From court hearings to behind-the-scenes clips to leaked text messages, it's basically like we're all watching a documentary that's more entertaining than a reality TV binge. Oh, and the plot thickens. Judge Liman just dropped some legal wisdom like it's the latest courtroom drama, and trust me, it's hotter than ever. In his ruling this Thursday, he made it clear that while Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni's lawyers can keep some details locked away in their legal vaults, not everything is getting a VIP pass to the no entry club. The protective order isn't a blanket protection for everything under the sun. Sorry folks, no top secret files about Ryan Reynolds' chili recipe or Blake's favorite snacks are going to be kept under lock and key. What's actually covered is the good stuff. Stuff like confidential business plans, security measures, and highly personal and intimate information about both Lively and Baldoni. Things that have nothing to do with the lawsuit, but could be very interesting if you're into a little TMI gossip. But anything that does get tagged as confidential or attorney's eyes only can't be passed around like a party invite to everyone and their dog. No sending those private docs to your aunt on Facebook or leaking them to TMZ. And the real kicker? Lively and Baldoni's teams can retroactively flag past discoveries as confidential. That's right. Any document they've already shared can suddenly get an extreme makeover and become classified, just like that unsuspecting text you sent your bestie about that drama-filled dinner party. Still, don't think you're going to sneak by this legal labyrinth unnoticed. If anyone tries to slap a confidential label on something they think is too juicy for public consumption, the other side can protest in writing. Like a legal Yelp review, but with way more contempt of court consequences. Of course, Judge Liman isn't completely letting them have their way with the whole protect my secrets game. He made it clear that the court can still step in and say, "Not so fast, my friends," if they don't think a particular piece of info deserves confidential treatment. So, if any super saucy evidence ends up being too good to hide, it might be unleashed during the trial. Like that one time a guest accidentally revealed the plot twist of a mystery movie during a dinner party. Oops. In the end, the court is playing bouncer, deciding who gets to peek at the secrets and who's left waiting outside. If that wasn't enough, Justin Baldoni's attorney Bryan Freedman is trying to douse the fire, and let me tell you, it's only making it worse. Freedman went on the Town podcast with Matthew Baldoni, who might as well have had a popcorn bucket ready, and tried to clear up the whole smear campaign thing. According to him, the text messages that were supposedly celebrating negative press against Lively, well, apparently it's all a misunderstanding, because emojis were removed. Yeah, you heard that right, emojis. Like the thing that makes everything a little more fun and a lot more confusing could have been the key to the truth. Freedman's claiming the emojis were totally misunderstood, and when you add those little smiley faces back into the conversation, it's clear that Baldoni and his team were just joking about the press.
You plan to sue Blake Lively?
Absolutely.
You will?
Yes. Justin Baldoni from the get-go said, I don't want to do anything negative toward her. I don't want to hurt her.
Was there a coordinated smear campaign to bring down Blake Lively?
100% no.
So why in this case should people not believe Blake Lively? Justin Baldoni has built his brand and is known for supporting women, believing women.
I am more than willing to take every single text message. I'm not asking anyone to not believe anyone. Have them see the truth and determine the truth for themselves. I think there's some behavior always that can make people uncomfortable, and I don't think anybody has the intention to do that.
Freedman insists that Justin wasn't out here plotting against Blake like some villain in a high-stakes reality show. Oh no. According to him, Baldoni was just devastated by any negative attention that could be directed at Blake or the movie. Can you imagine? The poor guy was just worried about his passion project, It Ends With Us, getting dragged through the mud. It's like when you spend months planning the perfect dinner party and someone spills red wine on the rug. You just don't want anyone talking about it. Freedman says it wasn't in his interest for Blake to be negatively criticized. But, sir, did we not just talk about the texts that look like they might be doing exactly that? Freedman is trying to convince everyone that the negative press that came out was all organic, like a well-planted garden of gossip. He even claims that the publicists were all like, "We had nothing to do with this," and that the press just happened to spill the tea. Sure, Justin, and I just happened to find a $20 bill in my coat pocket. Meanwhile, it was not just about Blake and Justin's reputations at stake. Nope, apparently it was all about the movie's success and the sensitive subject matter. The last thing Baldoni wanted to see was his baby, his heart-wrenching film about DV, get trashed. But Lively's legal team is saying that Baldoni's people were actually working overtime to make her look bad and deflect blame for the film's troubled production and the bad press. As if that's not enough, Baldoni's team claims that Ryan and Blake tried to force Baldoni to own all the mess by issuing a statement blaming him for everything that went wrong. But of course, Baldoni said nope and refused. Can you imagine being in the middle of a massive legal battle and then being asked to throw yourself under the bus for everyone else's mistakes? No thanks. Freedman wraps it all up like a bad rom-com plot twist. We weren't happy about negative press about Blake Lively. So is it all a misunderstanding? Or is there a little strategic press manipulation going on behind the scenes from both sides? You be the judge. We'll see you next time.